Afternoon everyone. Today's session will discuss about a syntax directed translation. It is an fifth module. So what is this syntax directed translation? As the name indicate that it is a translation scheme which will translate your sequence of the tokens whichever you are getting from the lexical analysis phase into an actions. Okay. So syntax directed translation, it is a translation scheme. Okay, it's a language translation scheme. In order to do the translation, so usually, so after the and one more thing, syntax directed translation, it is not the phase of your compiler. So you are, which are the phases of your compiler? Lexical analysis is the one phase, then you are having a syntax analysis phase, after that you are having a semantic analysis phase, and then you are having intermediate code generator. All those things you are having. Okay, then code optimizer, and finally the code generator. Okay, so these are the different phases of a compiler. All of you know that what is the purpose of the lexical analysis phase. It will generate the sequence of the tokens. Okay, what is an function of the syntax analysis phase? It will take the sequence of the token and construct the parse tree. What is semantic analysis will do? It will take this parse tree and it will check any semantic errors are there, like number of the arguments if they are missing when you will be calling any of the function, or type mismatch is there and you are performing in any of the arithmetic operation. So semantic errors will be unchecked by the semantic analysis phase. Then intermediate code generator, it will take this the parse tree which is the output of this particular phase, and it will generate the intermediate code, okay, by using a 3 address code technique. Then code optimizer will try to optimize, try to reduce the number of the instructions. Okay, then finally you will be getting an assembly code, that is a code generator will do that work. So these are the different functions of and different phases of your compiler. All of we know that. Then where this syntax directed translation scheme will come? It is not a phase of your compiler. Okay, so but syntax directed translation, it will use this particular parse tree. It will use that particular parse tree and it evaluates the attribute values at the each of the nodes of your parse tree by considering the, or by using an syntax directed definition. Okay, so got it. Syntax directed translation is not a phase of your compiler. What it will do is it will take your parse tree. So assume that you are having something, just an example, some parse tree like this. What is the value associated with this? What is the value associated with this? What is the value associated with this? So that implementation will be done by using your syntax directed translation scheme by using the syntax directed definition. I'll tell you what is syntax directed definition. So after that one, once it will find out what is the value associated with each of these terminals or the non-terminals in the given parse tree, then that will be used by your semantic analysis phase and the intermediate code generator in order to check the semantic errors and in order to generate the intermediate code. Okay, got it. Where it will come? So syntax directed translation scheme will come. So after this syntax analysis phase, what it will do, it will consider whatever your parse tree constructed and it will evaluate what are the different value that are associated with the each of the nodes of your parse tree by considering the, or by using a context free grammar that is called as a syntax directed definition grammar. Okay, so once we will find out what are the different actions that need to be performed while computing the values associated with this non-terminal, then we can easily check what is the type mismatch is there, or number of the argument mismatch, that is semantic analysis can be easily detected, and also easily we can construct the intermediate codes. So that is the purpose of using this syntax directed translation scheme. It is not a phase of your compiler. Okay, so now as I told you that why this SDT will be unused. SDT will be unused in order to translate the sequence of your tokens. Okay, sequence of your tokens into an actions, into an action. For that particular purpose it is using an syntax directed definition. So then what is this syntax directed definition, SDD? So it is nothing but a context free grammar. All of you know that what is a context free grammar. If I am having a set of the production, context free grammar is nothing but a VTPS. That all of you know, that set of terminals, non-terminals, set of productions, start symbol, that is called as a context free grammar. So suppose just an example, suppose if I am having something like this, okay, something like this. So this is called as a context free grammar, where you will be having a set of the terminals, non-terminal, productions, and the start symbol, all the things are there. So this is a context free grammar. Then what is this SDD? And SDD is nothing but a context free grammar, where it's a context free grammar where the rules will be associated with, where the rules, they are also called as the fragments. Okay, so where the rules will be are the actions, where the rules will be associated with the productions, where the rules will be associated, or the actions will be associated with the productions, and the values will be associated with the grammar symbol. Value will be associated with the lexical value. This is where the values will be associated with your grammar symbols for both terminal and non-terminal, and each production the rules will be associated. So that is called as an SDD. So what is an SDD? It is nothing but a context free grammar where associated with each of the production the rules will be attached, and along with each of the grammar symbol the attribute value will be assigned. So that is called as an SDD. So by using this syntax directed definition grammar, the syntax directed translation scheme will evaluate the values associated with each of the nodes in the given parse tree. Okay, which will be further used by your third phase and the fourth phase of your compiler, that is semantic phase and the intermediate code generator phase. Got it? What is SDD? It is context free grammar where rules are associated with the productions and attributes are associated with the grammar symbols. Attributes are associated with an grammar symbols. Grammar symbols can be both the terminal as well as an non-terminal. So that is called as an SDD. So when I'll take this SDD, as I told you that the attributes are associated with the grammar symbol and rules are associated with each of the production. Now when I'll take this attribute, there are two types of the attributes can be associated with your grammar symbol. That is, one is called as a synthesized attribute and the other one is called as an inherited attribute. So what do you mean by a synthesized attribute and what do you mean by an inherited attribute? So suppose if I am having this production E plus F, something like this, then the parse tree for this I can write like this, E plus F. So how the value of this E will be determined? Only when I will evaluate the value associated with this and the value associated with this, then only I can evaluate the value associated with the head of the production. So such type of the attribute we will call it as a synthesized attribute. Means that synthesized attributes are the attributes whose value will be evaluated by the value associated with its child nodes. Okay, so that is called as an synthesized attribute. Getting my point? So synthesized attribute are the attribute whose value will be evaluated through the value associated with their child nodes, So that is called as an or by itself also. So that is called as a synthesized attribute. So once again I tell, synthesized attributes are the attribute whose value will be evaluated through itself or through the children of that particular node. So that is called as a synthesized attribute. And come to the inherited attributes. And inherited attributes are the attributes which will be evaluated, whose value will be evaluated by the value of their parent node or the value of their siblings or by itself. by the value of their parent node, or by the value of their siblings, or by itself, or by itself. How the value of the synthesized attribute will be and determined? By itself or by the value of its child nodes. Child node, that is called as a synthesized. So what is inherited attributes? So inherited attributes are the attribute, so where you will be evaluating the value associated with a non-terminal through the value of their parent or through the value of their siblings or by itself. So for as an example, if I am having any of the production like this, and value of this is depends on value of this or this. So as an example, how I can write this? Plus ft. Suppose value of this depends on the value associated with this. That is, it is inheriting the value from the sibling, or if its value depends on the value associated with its parent, then such type of the attribute you will call it as a inherited attribute. Means it is inheriting the value from its parent and from its sibling or by itself, or by itself. That is called as an inherited attribute. So here the value of this depends on the value of sibling, or it is depending on value of a parent, or it may depend on both the sibling and the parent or by itself. Then we will call such type of the attribute as an inherited attribute. And usually remember this point that so all the synthesized attributes will be associated with your head of the productions. Okay, so the value of this is depends on value of its this one. Value of this is depends on value of the child nodes. Okay, and usually inherited attribute will be attribute which are associated with a non-terminal which is at the body of the production. Synthesized attributes are usually the attributes of a non-terminal. They are the attribute of a non-terminal which will be there in the body of the production. And synthesized attribute will be an attribute of a non-terminal usually at the head of the production, or it can be in the other side also, body of the production. But usually this can be at the head or the body. But when I take a inherited attributes, usually the inherited attributes are the attribute associated with a non-terminal which will be at the body of the production, not at the head of the production. Because always head depends on what? Children. But inherited attribute doesn't depends on the attribute value of a child node. It depends on the value of a sibling, attribute of a sibling nodes or a parent node. That's why inherited attribute cannot be an attribute of a non-terminal which is at the head of the production. Usually it will be an attribute of a non-terminal which is at the body of the production. But synthesized attribute can be an attribute of any of a non-terminal which is at the both the sides. That is head or a body of the production. Got it. So, and one more thing. So, usually when you will take a terminals, what about the value of the terminal? Is it a synthesized attribute or it is an inherited attribute? It is the attribute, it's a attribute value which will be an passed by the lexical analysis. Okay, all your terminal values, terminal value id is equal to 3. Who is defining this 3? From where this is coming, this attribute value for an id? So id, I'll write id dot val. From where this id dot val is coming? It is coming from a lexical analysis phase that is given by the user. Okay, it is not like an inherited from something or derived from something like this. Okay, it is not derived from its child nodes, or it is not derived from its parent node or the sibling node. So it is the value that will be provided by a lexical analysis phase. It is a value provided by that is for terminals. That is for any of the terminal value. So that will be sent through an lexical analysis phase. Getting my point?